Hey there, podcast fans. This is Trotwood Zeus, one half of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast. Are you ready to unlock the door to your dream home in the heart of Texas? Meet Jessica White, your go-to real estate guru, ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality. Hailing from the Lone Star State, our very own Austin native, Jessica White brings a fresh perspective to the world of real estate. With her deep-rooted understanding of the Austin Metroplex, Dallas, and Houston, Jessica's expertise will guide you every step of the way. But wait, there's more. Jessica isn't just about business, she's also about building communities and fostering diverse home ownership. Connect with her vibrant community on Instagram at The Color of Real Estate for a sneak peek into her world of stunning properties and thriving neighborhoods. Ready to take the plunge? Visit jessicawhite.kw.com or give her a call at 512-568-7124 to kickstart your journey to finding that perfect place to call home. And guess what? Don't forget to mention the code 2HLB for an exclusive surprise. Whether you're in the heart of Austin, the buzz of Dallas, or the charm of Houston, Jessica White is the real estate trailblazer you need by your side. Get ready to turn that dream home into a reality.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
Yeah, and we back, and we back, and we back, yeah, yeah. Zeus P, St. Jude, coming to you live, you don't know what to do. Hey, take an hour break, better yet two. Tune in with ATX, best Zeus and St. Jude. They ain't playing with you fools, giving game how to move, trying out the best food, no, got the best shoes. Real world thoughts coming from some real men, big business, bigger pockets, even healthy children. I hit that 2 hour lunch break when I got a fun day. Got a flex for this shorty that should be on the runway. I be laughing at the football days of tight shins, fart bottles, even some healthy products for my skin. It's an all black affair, bring your white friend. Kick your feet up, roll something, let the light in. Man, it's the 2 hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. Coming to you live, put it on for they city. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. They got everything from the pretty, ugly, and gritty. This is that 2 hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. So tune in, my dog, you don't wanna miss nothing. This is that 2 hour lunch break, cause one is for pump face. Don't believe me, ask the city dog, I ain't bluffing. Yeah, Zeus P, St. Jude, O and me, cap status, same crew, different moves, bigger, pay due. ATX, what up?
And we are back with another episode of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast, a podcast from Austin for Austin. And as you can see, we're here at the home base Dawa Studios. I am Saint, one half of the 2 Hour Lunch Break. I got my co-host here,
Trotwood Zeus.
and we have a special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that the vibe has changed. All right, the energy is flowing. All right, born in Omaha, Nebraska, raised in Houston, Texas, actor, artist, artistic director, filmmaker, the list goes on and on, right? He's most recently held his solo exhibition, The Garden, of Color ATX Creative Gallery. We welcome Xavier Alvarado in the building. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Hey, man, that was a dope intro,
man.
Brother.
Thank you, bro.
I received that, dog. I received that, dog. I'm doing good, man.
Bless you.
Yeah, so off air, I know we were talking about, what do you say, the illest nigga from Nebraska?
Yeah, the illest nigga from Nebraska.
You know yeah. So, yeah, I like that, man. But we're happy to have you pull up. You know, I know the homie Rudy Davino kind of put us in touch. So shout out to the homie Rudy. Look him up at Go Rudy on all social media platforms. So we appreciate you for that connection, bro. Glad to have you here. So I know we were talking about your background of being an illest nigga from Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
So let's so with that said though, let's talk about your upbringing a little bit and kind of, you know, what kickstarted your passion for art?
Man, you take me back just even saying Nebraska. I was born in Nebraska because my dad and my mother, they were overseas. My dad used to play ball. Okay. So my mom, I'm probably giving too much information. But she had 2 miscarriages before me. So she had to hike it back to the States. And then she wanted to have me around my grandparents. My grandparents lived in Nebraska. So that was the only reason why I was born in Nebraska. Other than I'd have been a Grease baby. Yeah. But nah, man, I was born around my grandparents, and I was glad about that looking in hindsight, because my grandparents' energy is like powerful. That's why I draw energy to this day. They still alive. They still going hard. Yeah, right, man. Having them elders is different, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's different, bro. But yeah, so like after that, we hiked it to Maryland. And my dad, he was still hooping here and there. But he was an artist. And so growing up, I always watched my dad just kind of paint and do different stuff. He was always an inventor. And so, and an architect, man. Like,
Word.
Yeah, straight up. Not a physical architect, but the way in which he saw things is what I fell in love with. And I saw that at a young age. I picked it up. We moved straight to the country. And it was like, it was a tour of house, but he saw how he could build the house up and use the land that was in the back for it. So I'm looking at every north, south, east, west number. Hey, you know what I mean? I'm from Nebraska, whatever. I mean, not from Nebraska. I was born in Nebraska, but going and just seeing just farm life was just totally different. But my dad would always talk about, you know, his vision and stuff, and he was an artist, so I connected the two.
But like you said, he sees, hey, you see, hey, he sees opportunity.
Exactly.
Man, that's amazing.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, how'd your experience play a role from college basketball in Concordia, play a role in influencing you as an overall artist?
Man, playing at Concordia, man, was it was like towards the end of my basketball career. So it was a paradigm shift.
Okay.
Understanding that, you know, I played ball, things happen. I wasn't, you know, the best in there, but I love the sport.
Yeah.
But it was time to change course for me. You know,
Understood.
I've always had art in my life. But it was something that I kind of had put on the back burner. But when I was in Concordia playing ball, that's when I delved back into the arts and stuff. And yeah, man, that was just a whole new identity shift right there, bro.
That's what's up. So let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
What brought you to Austin to start that journey?
Man, so I got into like film. And plays and stuff at Concordia.
Okay.
You know, while I was playing ball, man. There's like, you trying to be Denzel, dog?
Right, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, and that's, you know, I let my nuts hang over there,
right.
This is what I wanted to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? As opposed to, you know, trying to fit a mold for so long because I'm tall. You know, I'm a black person, black athlete. You know, and I wanted to express my body, but that's in another form. It's an art form.
Absolutely.
So what led me to actual Austin was looking at I was already in Austin because of, you know, Concordia. But getting a job out here. And then, well, I went to Texas State first before then I just, you know, got a job in the state.
Yeah.
So, okay. Did I answer that question?
No, you answered it for me. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's take a little bit of a step back, talking about your childhood again, right? So I know we had read before that you had started painting at the age of 6, right? So if you can, tell us a little bit about like a moment or a memory that sparked that, you know, that artistic nature.
Man, seeing my dad, bro. Like, you know, seeing my dad, I always wanted to be like my dad, man. Like, my dad's cool, man. And seeing him actually create something with his hands, and it's coming from his brain, you know? And I was like, man, how'd he do that? I'm looking at magic. I'm watching superheroes, bro. I'm seeing them doing amazing stuff. I'm looking at my dad just like how I'm looking at the superheroes. I'm like, yeah, for sure I want to do that. You know? And it was just a spark in imagination, bro. You know, that's where it had always got me interested in art is the transference of ideas, you know, on breaking it down in like layman's terms, and then making it physical. Got it.
So you explored a variety of kind of artistic creativity, right? From looks like comic books, murals, kind of fine arts. How do these different mediums influence you as a creator?
It opens my mind to what else I can do, you know, and how people can experience art. You know, now I'm like, okay, I've done all of these mediums, like you said. How can I innovate spaces now? You know, how can I help out, use what I can do to actually influence something for the better, right? I was reading this book, man, the other day, and it was talking about how the cathedral, right? How it's made, and some of the hallways in it is meant to like build consciousness because of the design. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at how designs of like schools are and just different places, right? It allows for different thinking, you know? So just taking that design and how I study art, how that can influence a mind in a positive way, you know? When we get certain statues or Mount Rushmore, that's a testament to like history and who we are as a people, you know what I'm saying? Or at certain times in history as a people. So yeah.
Gotcha. So I know we were, talking about your artistic style a little bit. So tell us a little bit about how it's evolved over the years since you first started, dabbling in art up to now. I first started with comic books, right? Sketches, just doing superheroes. But then getting older, you want to have that approval. So I was making a lot of artwork that people could recognize and see. But now I'm getting more into like storytelling art. Okay. Yeah, because I want to lead people in a direction with my art. Gotcha.
So, all right. So you mentioned that. So how do you approach the process of your self-learning and development of your art as a creative expression? Because I know sometimes it looks like that you're kind of not more so creating for self-development, but also looking at it from a lens of how to express your art from your own personal view. Because as you said, this is a brain; it expresses art. So how do you go about your self-expression as you're learning your self-process and developing your art form?
Man, that's a good question, brother. That's a good question. How I go about it is life experiences. I'm taking everything into account. One, I'm studying everything, but also I'm asking myself questions on what am I creating this for? What is the end goal per se? And then two, letting go of all of that, and still just expressing thoughts. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, like, I work in the realm of like practice. You know what I mean? And when you look at like paintings and stuff, it's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. Right. So it takes time to develop that. Right. So yes, you have an end goal in mind or the essence of it. For me personally, but I'm still experimenting in that process. Right. I'm seeing what colors work together. I'm seeing, okay, eureka. This was what I intended it to be, after kind of stumbling and playing around with the colors and just learning, what I mean? Studying different ways how I can direct my painting.
Right. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. So let's talk about the creative process when creating a new piece, right? So do you have any like routines or like rituals that you do like to try to get into the right mindset?
Man.
You don't have to steal or give all your songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you gotta give all the songs.
Give us a gem or two, right?
Right. Man, dog. I was like, man, put me on the spot. Man, I really, man, I get a couple energy drinks because I like to stay up and be alert. And I'll give me a cup of coffee or something, man. And It's more so of a process when I get in there.
Okay.
I love to paint. Like, I love to do what I do.
Yeah.
But it's more so about the process in which to let that creativity in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, prepping my mind for the long haul, and then also silencing my mind from like distractions, like the phone, just different stuff like that.
So, tell me, what does that look like? Because I know you just said earlier, trying to express yourself, right? And this is a misnomer, and also something that's known for black men. We have a difficult time expressing ourselves, expressing our emotions in particular. How do you break that barrier for yourself and say, this is what I'm trying to relay?
Just saying it, writing it down right in that moment, having different conversations, talking to your homies, you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, we come to ideas when we're talking out loud. Because,
Right.
we don't necessarily just come up with the thoughts or the things all the time. They are like things that come to us. These thoughts come to us.
Right.
And we find, again, eureka moments when we talking with the homies or, a significant other or family, because they are a reflection of us in a way, especially if we spend time with them, So, and even, so taking all of that, right, but even reflecting at the end of the day and being like, damn, okay, where did I express myself? What am I holding back on? You know what I mean? Just having that self-reflection.
Yeah. Do you find yourself where you have to, like, is it a pocket that you like are operating in, or do you find it as in like a wave where you have to come back and retouch a painting, or is it something like, hey, I'm getting straight into it and I'm gonna knock this one out?
Man, it's all of that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's all of it.
It's real.
Because again, it's in the realm of creating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in any realm of creating, right? Business. You make deadlines, and then you got things that is still on flow. You know what I'm saying? You ain't waiting on this email, so you go knock off another checkpoint, So it's that same thing, you know what I mean? But painting is just like a more concentrated thing, But anything is, right? When you're writing down business plans or anything, so it's the same.
When you're passionate about it, absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So I know, looking into you, I know you've worked on a bunch of various projects. You've done live paintings, live exhibitions, et cetera, et cetera. If possible, can you share like a memorable story from any of those exhibitions that you've done in the past?
Man, memorable story from.
Now, keep in mind, it can be funny, it can be fucked up, it can be
All of it.
whatever. Don't censor yourself. Whatever story you can think of,
Man,
feel free.
Man, I think one of my first shows, man. Man, I'm trying to think. It's a lot of good stories, man. It's not really no fucked up stories, man. I think the opportunities that come from just put myself out there is the biggest thing, man. Because I could talk all day about the stories, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's more so the opportunities that shock me, bro. Like, from just putting myself out there,
just being in the space.
Man, not even that. Just like that, but also like being very open about what I like to do. You know what I mean?
Real.
About being passionate about art.
Yeah.
Right.
And the energy with it, man, and just holding space and the things, the blessings that I've come across my table just from that alone, was really dope. Again, following that gut and heart instinct at the same time. So that's what I would say. You know what I mean?
So, side question.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So we're talking about opportunities. Have you encountered like art groupies yet? Because the only reason I'm asking, because you're not a bad looking dude, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know You know, people try to, you know, they chase artists on the art scene, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has anything
girl,
like that
he
ever
used
like
to
come
hoop.
across your way? You know
girl,
what I
he
mean?
used
Like
to
some
hoop.
fans and be like, hey, I see Xavier Alvarado at such and such exhibit. Let's pull up
girl,
on
he
him.
tall.
Like,
Yeah.
and something
girl,
like
he
that.
dark skin.
Right. Yeah.
You seen the skin?
He Trinidadian,
Indian.
all that.
Mm.
Has anything like that ever
He's
happened?
the realest nigga from Nebraska.
Right, yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yo, that's so funny, dog. man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next question. Yeah. Nah, man, we appreciate you for being honest. We appreciate you for being honest.
For sure.
That's funny, which leads us to our next question.
Sure.
How do you navigate and balance between healthy competition and also staying true to your unique artistic vision?
Man, I love to see people win. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of winners because it shows that new possibilities can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, like ultimately,
Yeah.
especially like with your homies, right? You know, I heard this quote a while back, and it was like, first can finish last, and last can finish first. So it's like, always be humble about it and cheer somebody on, because you never know.
Right.
They could pull you up, or you could pull them up. And then, you know, especially across other cultures, right? It's important to have that good, healthy competition because y'all can do business together. You know what I mean? Especially through networking now, just in, you know, many other spaces, it's like you realize, all right, the owner of this club knows the owner of this club. They homies, they, you know, party together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
so
for
that's
sure.
a fan of a winner.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, I ain't got no, and that only helps me learn more. Right, for my artistic vision. I'm like, okay, I like how they did that there. How can I mix that into like this smoothie I'm making?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
for sure.
You know, but yeah, I don't let it deter me, man. My dad is like a great mentor.
Okay.
Because you know he did this before too, so he keeps me level-headed too.
That's what's
another
up.
thing.
Does he try to like keep you aware of maybe the potential pitfalls or maybe even some of the successes to be mindful of or pay attention to?
Man, 100%.
Really?
My dad keep it the realest.
That's what's up.
The realest. with me.
What's the best jewel you think he ever gave you thus far?
Step back.
Step back.
Yeah. So while I'm painting, don't stand in front of it as a magnifying glass.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a metaphor that's
Life.
yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. See the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, I know, like we were saying earlier, you've done a bunch of different projects and collaborations over the years. If you can, tell us which one, or you know, ones plural, were the most meaningful to you and why.
Man, off rip the garden, man. Shout out to OC Creatives, man. I gave me my first solo show. That was super dope. During COVID, Big Medium gave me a page on the book. So to be published as an artist was a beautiful thing as well. You know, for this path that I'm on, it's important to have these publications because, you know, we want to be the best at this, right? So having that history in black and white, having that history in photos and stuff, it's like, damn, you know, I laid something down while I was here, you know? So them type of opportunities, them two for sure, specifically.
That's what's up. What's been, aside from OFC, what's been the most fulfilling collaboration that you've ever participated in?
Oh man, making a movie.
Oh, word.
Making a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, with my homies, man. So we're in the process of a movie now, getting it finished. It's called Hierarchy. It's really, really dope. It's an action flick.
Okay.
But we had made a bunch of short films in college.
Okay.
And it was just us just wanting to fulfill that dream as well, you know, of doing action movies, bro. You know what I mean? Like, dog, it's so fun. So one of my homies, he was getting ready to leave to LA. He was like, He was like, yo, X, I'm thinking about doing this movie. I want to do a short film. I said, nah, fuck that, bro. Let's do a feature. He said, a feature, bro? An hour? So I'm like, yeah, let's do a feature. Let's go out with a bang. If you're going to leave Austin, go to LA, let's send you off with something that's like solid.
Right.
You know? And so we started off doing that, shooting a movie, man. It was 2 weeks in, I'm negative, bro. You see what I'm saying?
It happens.
Bro, but I'm putting my all into this.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm
yeah.
praying in the process, you know? He's praying in the process. You know, I go over to his crib the other day. The next day, or after like the 2 week span, we gotta pay camera crew, we gotta pay PAs, we gotta do everything, you know, because it's coming out of our pocket.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This is a dream that we want. I said, bro, we gotta pull a halt because it's Christmas coming up.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff going on, man, at that time. But he's like, all right. And so, lo and behold, man, the next day a blessing came around, right, to fund the movie.
Blessings.
You know, that's why I said I'm again going back to a fan of winners, because winners persevere. You know what I'm saying? And we persevered through that, and so we finished the movie. Now it's about getting the right distribution.
Right,
you
right.
know? But having that faith to just go forward, and man, that blessing was just everything. And so that was a moment in time where I made it. It was me, my boy Colin Zuzawulu. Shout out to Colin Zuzawulu, Russell Reed. We started that project, man. Yeah, he wrote it. I mean, Collins wrote it, directed it with Russell. He was a cinematographer, and I was one of the actors and producers.
Nice.
So yeah, man.
Gotcha.
Action flick.
Right.
Bruh, I was in there. Pop.
Yeah.
Man, just to, you know, relive some kid dreams.
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Fast and Furious type stuff.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
That's dope.
dog.
So I know we're talking about hierarchy, right? So with that said though, what can your fans expect from you in the future as far as any other kind of mediums or projects or anything like that? What's coming on the pipeline for Xavier Alvarado?
Man, the fly stuff possible, man. I want to do the fly stuff possible. And what that means is like, you know, 007 type stuff, man.
Okay.
Like
All right.
Bob Ross
Gotcha.
I
type
like
stuff.
it. I like
Yeah.
it.
You know, cool collaborations with like sneaker companies, all type of stuff, bro.
Hey.
You know, fashion, all of that, man. I want to do it all. You know, if I'm gonna write my name in the sand,
Want it to mean
fly.
something.
Come on, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Respect.
yeah.
Respect. You talked about reconnecting with your inner child when doing the previous project. Could you share a moment in a project where you felt like the connection was so strong, or the most strong, where you were like, this is I'm back. I'm back to my kid phase, the kid stage.
Man, probably these next projects I got coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Because of these tests that I've already been through, man. Now I'm going back to that time where I was most creative. You know, I was the only child, so it's like I would always be making something. Always be making something, because I had to entertain myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, it's another game, right? Because I'm now playing with checks. I'm now doing business, and I'm playing Monopoly. It's not really just like, you know, debt type stuff. It's more so like, all right, you need to buy this hotel here.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
And then flip it, you know? So I'm looking at it as a game now, going back to that child, but also creating, you know, new colors, new stuff in the process, you know, and seeing like, oh man, I could do this, I could do that.
Yeah.
What, for real? God, you like that?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Real talk, bro. Real talk.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I know since we talking about, you know, childhood, right? So let's actually touch on some of your biggest inspirations, right? As far as art goes. Who and what are your biggest influences in regards to acting and visual art?
Man, my pops. Well, number one, God. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Man, just looking at nature. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Comic books, anime. Shit. I still watch anime to this day, bro. My grandmother, Basquiat,
Okay.
George Kondo, Muhammad Ali. There's a lot of as far as film, there's a lot of Asian directors I like. I can't pronounce their names.
Oh, it's all
Yeah,
good.
it's a whole different language. So yeah.
Bro. But they cold.
Yeah.
Right.
They cold
Yeah.
when it comes to film in a different way.
Right.
They're really nice. America's nice too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
No.
there's some cold like North Korean directors for sure. What else? I'm trying to think. Music. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, we were talking earlier. We were like, man, my guy has a Brent Fayez with like a Bryson Tiller vibe. I look at his IG. So
That's hard.
so when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. No, I dig
cool,
it.
they
I dig it. Yeah. So you talked about earlier that you're from Trinidad. How does that influence your perspective on creating?
Man, dog. Just the cool vibes, man. You know what I mean? Like, just having that island in my blood, I feel like keeps me cool-headed. You know, I have that hard working and that fire to me, but I'm still peaceful at the same time. It's got a soul to it, and it's an island soul.
Yeah.
And my dad, he got a reference all the time. I got to think of it. I'm losing it now, but yeah, he keep it cool. He keeps it cool, man. He wears sandals all the time, toes out.
Yeah.
You dig? You know, when I get my toes right, I'm gonna have my toes
Right.
out.
Yeah. You got to get right first. I get it.
You feel me? But nah, man. Yeah, just that, man. A lot of islanders is cool, man. Like my grandmother, she's so cool. She in like Trinidad culture, it's very custom for the woman to cook the whole meal, and then the man just eats. My grandmother will cook a whole meal for like my dad, my grandpa, and myself, and not even eat. She'll eat afterwards. Yeah. Wow. Cause she loves serving. It's not like a less than type of thing. It's like the essence of being of service is in that island.
It's a custom.
Exactly. And family, it's a lot of big families, and food, right, is a serious thing. It's not fast food.
No, but it's a great connector.
Yeah,
as you said.
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So I know you've taken art seriously for some years now, right? What kind of advice can you give to an aspiring artist that's looking to break into the industry?
Define your visual language. Continue to define it. I wanted to say, I forgot, Virgil is who I looked up to as well.
Virgil.
Got it. For sure. Defining your visual language.
Yeah.
That will help you, one, tell your story, your specific perspective. Two, allow for people to understand where you're coming from. Three, allow collaborators to come and be like, hey, I like what you stand for. I like your visual language. I think I can see it on this bottle here, or this decal, or this room, or whatever. Defining that. And then just that, finding that that visual language will help you continue to just grow in many different ways. You can change the color of it. You can collaborate with somebody else on it. But yeah,
that's what's up. Can you share a piece of wisdom, or maybe a mantra that guides you through your career and your creative process?
What's the best that can happen?
What's the best that can happen? What's the best that can happen?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So I know we getting close to the end. So got a couple questions for you before we wrap up.
No, for sure.
What message or takeaway do you hope that either listeners or watchers or people that come to your exhibits, what can they take away from your art projects and visuals?
Man, many different things, man. I would say they could definitely take away inspiration, reflection, you know, and then community, you know, and I say community because I'm a vulnerable artist, right? So when I'm creating, I'm talking about trials that I've been through. I'm talking about what I see, you know. I'm talking about dark truths, you know what I mean? Reality. So it's like you can find a little bit of a community in my art because I'm being vulnerable. You know, you're not alone per se. Right. Yeah, you can ask that question. It's like, yo, I had doubts. You know what I mean? I have, you know, questions at times like, yo, is this pain gonna ever end? Or, man, I like this. What does this color look like here? You know what I mean? Or just visions and stuff. So, yeah.
So I know we're trying to finish up, but that leads me to a question. Have you ever painted something that you said, I'm not ready to show the world yet?
Man. So, two things actually.
Really?
A
Do
couple
tell.
things. Yeah, a couple things, man. You know, man.
If you're not ready, it's all good.
no.
Okay, cool.
Man, it's first podcast, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let us
Shout out to y'all, dog,
appreciate
for
you.
real.
Appreciate it.
I would say there was this one painting that was in the garden, right? It's called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And when I had painted it, it was a self-portrait almost because it looked like me, but he was wearing a gesture costume, like a clown suit. Okay. And this was when I, you know, I left my 9 to 5, dog. So I was like feeling crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, what if I do fuck up? So I had that painting, man. It was out while I was working on a process in the midst of the garden, right? So I was flirting with the dark side really close because of this reminder that I could fuck up. So it was times where it was like in the corner and I'm over here painting. And I'm like, damn, I see that in my peripheral. But I can't let it deter me, right? So, you know, bills coming in, all of this stuff. There's a lot of weight on my shoulders. I turned that painting around. I'm like, yeah, I can't look at this stuff. Yeah, I mean, manifest this stuff, dog.
Right.
But lo and behold, man, everything was cool, dog. And I drew some flowers on it so it wasn't flowers, it was a 4-leaf clover. So there was a thing that I drew on every piece of the garden, and those 4-leaf clovers to represent luck and blessings, you know, on your journey. Yeah. And so I hung that up in the corner of the exhibit because it had haunted me for a while.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, look at it now. You know, it was literally like me looking at the garden, and I sold every piece up in there except for like 3.
Wow. That's insane. That is insane.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you aside from I'm afraid to quote unquote afraid to fail, right? What else did it mean? Did it mean I'm afraid to succeed? Am I showing a different side to people that I'm uncertain they'll be comfortable with? What else did it mean to you?
Man, all of that, bro.
Okay.
All of that, because at the same time, you know, you can get programmed to thinking that, you know, certain dreams can't happen.
Right.
You know, especially with, you know, basketball and stuff. It's like, that was my first love. That didn't happen. You know, you go through relationships. Sometimes that don't work out. You got high hopes for it. So I'm like, man, this is one thing I'm passionate about. I know I can do it. But what if I fuck up? You know? And then I was like, nah, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta turn myself up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, you know, that's you know, that painting, man. It also, that's why it was titled A Hero with 1,000 Faces. You know what I mean? Because it was a play on looking foolish, right? But you got a plan all along. You know, the way I painted it, he was sitting in a king's throne. Okay. Even though he was wearing the clown suit, knew all along. And sometimes, like, you gotta be misunderstood in order to get, you know, what you want. their times and different careers.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Wright brothers, man. They was on a bicycle about to fly off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic happens.
Yeah.
We holding magic. We got phones now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you would explain that to somebody in the 1920s, like, you're gonna be talking to about it.
Yeah.
It'd be
Right.
crazy.
Your cousin.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They be like,
They would be like, yeah, right, but
Right.
yeah, right.
So you gotta be a little crazy at times. You gotta have crazy faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And most times you wouldn't have that if you you wouldn't have those ideas unless you could actually do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. So, got last question of the night, right? We
Yeah.
actually talked about this off air before we got started.
Yeah.
So, you got a chance. You've been on the show. You know what it is to be a guest. We talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about inspiration. We talked about family. Yeah, we talked about our groupies.
Yeah, right.
We talked about a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
so
straight up.
now you know what the experience is to be here. So with that said, who do you think will be a good guest for the show in the future? But it has to be somebody that's in your phone and you can put us in with them right now. Like, hey, I've been on the 2-hour lunch break. I had a ball. Y'all need to pull up XYZ. Who is that person or people? I mean, you could do people.
Yeah.
FYI. So feel free.
People. Man. Man, I think one person that has an interesting story is my homie Johnny.
Okay.
He came from New Orleans over here. A lot of people came from the hurricane.
Yeah. Sure.
So I would be interesting to. I think it would be interesting to hear his perspective on how he does art and a bunch of other things out here in Austin. Tattoos. He works with Ink Junkies. He throws art events as well. So yeah, I think that'd be an interesting story. That's just a plug. That's my guy.
Gotcha. Give everybody your social media handles.
Yeah, my social media is Xavier Alvarado. It's Xavier Alvarado with a 0 at the end, actual 0. And you can find it on every platform. And then just my name on Facebook and stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha, man. Well, that wraps up this edition of the 2-hour lunch break. Once again, man, shout out to Xavier Alvarado for pulling up, taking the time to kick it with us.
Sir.
Shout out to production behind the boards. You can find them at Cafayoto. Salute to the home studio, Dawa Studios. We will be making a move soon, so keep an eye out for that. I'm looking at the wrong camera, so keep an eye out for that. All episodes will be found streaming on all platforms. You can find us on Twitter at the 2-hour lunch. You can find us on Instagram at 2HLBpod. Thanks for tuning in. We out.
Peace.
Yeah, man. That was.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.